Going to be a review for a pocket knife that I picked up on vacation over the summer. I've had plenty of time to use this knife and I keep it on me every day. It has a really nice belt clip built into it, and this is an actual buck knife. It's called a Tempest, and it has a lock on it so it can't open up in your pocket because it is cam assisted. Therefore, it makes it quite a bit easier to open, and I really like that feature. However, the lock itself is a little bit on the awkward side, I should say. It's not the easiest thing. Say if you wanted the cam assist because it's easy access, say if you were out in the deer woods or something like that, or even in a case where you needed to defend yourself, the lock on there is more than likely gonna just get in the way and be annoying. My hands aren't, or my fingers aren't super fat, so this is for those people that have super fat fingers. They're definitely gonna have even more of an issue with the lock than I do. And it's not ergonomically built into the knife very well either. So that's going to really be the only negative that I have for this buck knife. It's the only thing that I don't like about it personally. Okay, there is some edges on here that don't look all that great. I don't know if I'll be able to get them in there to where you'll be able to see them. It's just the way that they put the knife together during manufacturing. Hopefully you'll see that. It's basically right around in here. It's kind of like pressed in, I think. So this is more than one piece, not counting the wood, you know, this whole outer area and the outer shell. But it's still solid. It locks in real well. Never even thought that it would come unlocked. So here's the way that the lock works on it. You have to push it forward, or backward rather, and then come back forward and lift or push down on this little nub in here, and it opens right up for you. The blade itself is really nice. It's 295C stainless. Okay, hopefully that's focusing. There's a view of the side without the clip on it. Okay. I use this for everyday use, so anywhere a person would need a blade. You're opening up your mail, you are working on something and you need it. So these things here are lifetime warranted. It actually holds an edge quite well. I've used it a lot. The corner, or excuse me, the tip of it does look to be a little bit mangled from using it, but the edge is still there. I'm not going to use this on something to pry it or anything like that. So another thing that that I'm a little iffy about is the way that this knife actually locks. It doesn't unlock like your typical buck knife would. It unlocks kind of like how those cheap ones in the gas stations would unlock. So what you do is you stick your thumb right there where my right thumb is here, and you just move that little flap of metal up. It is pretty hard to move up, so it's still a sturdy knife. It doesn't have a lot of play right here. It's still really solid. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why I got this one, is because it's nice and solid and it opens up easily. This knife here I got at Cabela's, and it cost me a little over $100 after tax, and I think overall it was well worth the $100 bill that I gave for it. So If you don't want to open it up this way, you want to open it up the conventional way here with your thumb, you can do that as well, and it's ambidextrous, so that's on both sides of the blade, the little nub there. Okay, and it's pretty nice. If I was quick enough with my thumb, it generally will end up right here, and that will stop you from touching the blade, basically. The nub that is actually on the top that you would push down if you did it that way, that's where it ends up when the knife opens up. Okay, so if you had to get to it fast, if you had the lock off, it's, you know, if you, for whatever reason, if you had to do it, you know, it's there. So, but the lock itself, it's not the easiest thing to move over, and that's another reason why it makes it just kind of like a clumsy thing. You know, I guess it's just like anything else. If you practice long enough, you'll get good at it. But if you got big fingers, maybe not. So, you know, it's just, see, it's just for the thumb here in the front, it's a little harder with that lock on. Sometimes I've caught myself leaving the lock off and having this guy in my pocket, put it in my pocket just like this, and I'll show you guys what it looks like in there. I always put it to the back so that I can still put my hand in there to get stuff, but hopefully you can see that. That's all you see. It's this little area. Okay, so if you needed to get to it in a hurry, it's nice. It's never came open in my pocket, which is a good thing, so, you know, take that as you will. If you got one of these knives, you can obviously use it any way that you wanted to, but I definitely recommend this knife. As far as a regular pocket knife goes, a nice folder knife, out of a 10, I would definitely give this one at least a 9, because for one thing, it looks really nice with the wood inlay there, and for two, it functions really well. But I'm taking one off because of this lock, just because, I mean, I'm sure a lot of thought went into it, but then again, not a lot of thought might have went into it, so, you know, it is awkward. I mean, who's going to want to just have another 5 seconds or maybe a fumble and even more time to unlock that? So maybe not your combat knife, but your everyday knife. It's a really good buck knife. So okay, guys.